You are listening to Let's Go, the weekly anime podcast about weekly anime from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. So come along and hang with the Let's Go gang. It's Dwayne.
Hello.
It's Niall.
Ari.
And it's me, Brian. And on this episode, we are covering the anime that aired the week of August the 17th to August the 25th, 23rd even.
Is my numbers right there? I don't think that's right.
No, the number's right. Is you've just got 23rd.
I see what I
23rd.
did.
Yes.
Numbers is hard. Yeah.
Suffering Thukatash.
Yes, that week, the past week, as recording, it is Elusive Samurai, episode 7, Children in Winter, in which a gang from Fist of the North Star show up.
I mean, yeah.
Well, yeah, says Sadamuri to himself. So they're gonna like break the samurai code of honor on the battlefield, huh? Well, that's we should try that, but we gotta like do it at a remove. You know, we gotta have like the deniability and all this. So yeah, we'll hire some goons, the worst goons,
Scoundrels, in fact.
Then make quite a display of showing like, oh yeah, we are absolutely amoral bastards. This is how amoral bastards we are. Look at this, throwing up bodies.
I will say your man's style of clothes. Like I thought in the comics that he just had someone go in and stitch like a little tiny, like I was going to say a herd of ants, a group of ants on his thing, and I was just like, okay, he's just really into ants. But this is like he's just covered in living ants, and I was like, oh, that's so gross.
Yeah, I thought it's an interesting way to go. I thought it was just like because they have like you know little things, but like the cool patterns there or some like representation. Yeah. They're pretty neat. It's just like I know as well they get in the abstract with like you know they literally visualize these big guys as demonic apparitions. You know. Then we're going to try and have like a game with the demonic tag versus them. I don't know. Maybe he's just really disgusting. You know, he's slopping like fucking
he's always covered in
sake
jam
over himself.
Yeah,
you know, it's just like, oh, the ants love that. They just like swarming up on there.
Other than that, he does seem to be a bastard, but he's a Buddhist, so he can get away with it. Is
you just go to confession.
It did come across It did come across a bit like the Vikings being taught about Christianity in Vinland Saga.
I mean, this continues to this very day. I was like, if I just say I follow the teachings of Christ, I can be a billionaire, right? I think that's how it works. Yeah. Hypocrites will never fucking stop. But in this case, they've hired out a big goon and his bunch of goon boys to go basically take over the place for them, but technically not in their name. So it's like, what can I do? Fucking, that's not my land. I can't defend it. That's someone else's problem. It turns out it's the Grand Shrine's problem. Who'd have thunk it?
There's this village on the outskirts. And it's like, okay, we gotta check that out, but we can't afford any scouts. And Yurishige is like, oh no, it's that time of year again. Can't see the future like I usually like to. Man.
Yeah, and he can't let anyone know because they'll all have. He thinks they'll all have a panic attack because it's like if I can't predict the future accurately, everyone will be like, "Oh no, what are we going to do?" And it's like I don't think people rely on you for that. But
my leadership comes from my confidence in knowing what the future is.
Yeah.
It's all a sham.
So with our what they elusive warriors volunteers like we'll do the scouting job and we've technically done scouting jobs and we're good at running away if we get caught, so yeah, we'll be grand. And he's like no, I can't do that. And everyone's like, what a great idea, everyone, let's all agree to do
let's all do what Tokiyuki says. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, totally.
And he I think he's his most like parenting in this one, where he's like, oh, make sure you take enough money, oh, make sure you bring your coat, but in like a very overprotective parent way, where they're just like, we're going to spy on the enemy encampment, this is not the time to be babying us.
This RPG is too generous to checkpoints. I mean, you got this whole like in with like full of furs and weapons, so it's like here, like as soon as you leave town. I mean, you gotta give us some credit here.
Sorry. So they head out and then they run into a mysterious swordsman who uses two swords.
This goes right for him.
That's got to be illegal to use two swords at the same time. I don't know, man. That seems it's not very cultured of him.
I know. Well, you gotta fight dirty, especially when all the adults are dead, because this village has suffered repeated assaults, and there's only the children who are left. So this dude has taught them guerrilla warfare, to try and take out any advancing armies or anything like that, and they've managed to hold off with just these kids, like 3 armies of a couple of hundred dudes.
Yeah, he's been doing all the fighty parts, and they've been doing stuff like distracting them, making them chase them into the woods because they're holding torches and think there's someone there, and leading them into pits that the children have dug out and filled with swords pointing the fucking nasty end up. You know, standard kid stuff. But the kids still have light in their eyes, even though all their parents are absolutely dead in that hut over there. And I like the way he's kind of like, he's badass, he can fight our heroes, but he's kind of like, oh, you helped me out that one time because I am, like everyone else in this fucking show, a goober, and my thing is food. That's my stupidity thing. That fighting good, food not so good.
Kind of like a wild animal that sneaks in and just like, gets into your ration. It's just like, he's just this adorable little ferret or something, though I can't really just get totally mad at him. Just go like, yeah, if one village is running low on food, if we keep getting attacked like this, we're going to starve here, these kids, the skin and bones. Oh man, this is good.
I mean, obviously they want to keep him fed since he's the only guy in the village who can fight. So that's kind of important, what with them being assailed. And as he points out, it's like this village, you'd think it's just like random village in the boonies, but if you get this village and you get this fucking strategic point over here, you can take this very strategic point that will really like get an invasion. So the person attacking this village knew exactly what the fuck he was doing. And the person who's attacking that village is he shows up kind of, is he showing us the most brutal thing? Because I think it not in this show's, by this show's standard so far, he's not the most brutal thing. He is pouring a cup of blood off of his sword, but other than that, he's got.
Well, that's after he decapitates the one survivor who's hiding in the pile of corpses.
Yeah. He's pretty brutal, but I mean, like by this show's standard, I'm like, it's already a pretty brutal show, even though we scroll past a big pile of corpses.
Yes.
That kind
of and crucifixions. Don't forget those.
That's true. They are doing a couple of those for fun. Yeah.
Switch it up.
They definitely dwelled on all the details of everything a lot longer than the comic does. I'm just going through the chapters.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, you have to look at it for the length of time that the show shows you, whereas in the comic you can just go like, I don't want to look at that no more.
I can hear the screams.
Yeah.
Really hear them.
So he's shocked that you should only take 5 of my men to take a village, and I've sent 3 raids down to that village, and none of them will come back.
Should probably look into that myself.
Yes. And I assume that's what they're going to do next week, because ants crawl all over his body.
Yeah, again, just a very strange thing. Because I'm not averse to it. It's just like, a weird thing. Like, it gives him an even like more unsettling aura than he already had. Again, maybe he's just filthy and he smells disgusting.
Yeah, just could be a sloppy, messy eater.
My friends, they live on me.
As long as he doesn't start controlling the ants and then move all over his body to give him different powers, then
that's been done.
That's a different thing coming up. That is pictured behind me. But yeah, it's an interesting kind of visualization. And again, like the hypocrisy of saying is like, if I just say a little Buddhist prayer after I've killed this mountain of corpses, I'm forgiven. Thank you, Jesus, Buddha, whatever, whoever. I don't fucking care. It's an excuse to do murders that will benefit me.
Yeah, it's kind of like you see the different stack with it when Fubuki, he initially, we met when he snuck in the 80 offerings we had left in the shrine here.
Like you say, like a loose raccoon. It's a fairly innocent crime. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think God would let it off. If like a young man, like who's been hasn't eaten in days, just like eats this earthly food or that's been left. I think like fucking Buddha will let you off on that one. It's kind of like the intent of the thing. But one say no. You just like according if you go by the rules, if all I gotta do is Namida Butsu, I gotta spit in this guy's like fun dead body even, and I want you to go to hell for it. Win-win. What a system.
Yeah.
Then we've got One Piece, episode 1116. Let's go get it. Boogie's big declaration. In which the first
What's
half
Buggy
is
doing?
a Shigeru Chiba tour de force. Um,
You kind of forget how, like, not he's going to be important, but not how unimportant Buggy is, but how fucking great it is to watch him be like, I'm fucking great. Please don't kick my ass.
Yes.
You know,
Not
like
in the face, not in the face.
So we open with the murder of T-Bone, who was apparently promoted to vice
I'd
admiral.
forgotten
in a time
Yeah,
skip.
poor
murdered.
old
I'd
T-Bone.
completely forgotten T-Bone got murdered. It's just like, oh yeah, some fucking guy stabbed him.
It's that dude that Zoro humiliated, like, like about 20 arcs back. He's like, yeah, that dude.
Yes, who were told he's a lovely guy back then, and we're told he's a lovely guy back here. But
It's because he has the face
unfortunately,
of a corpse, but is a very nice guy. He's stabbed trying to save a small child in a war zone. As that's how we would have wanted to go out. I
Yeah.
think that's fair.
Yeah, but as Sengoku and Suru were discussing, it is a country where thousands of people are dying from famine, so she understands why somebody would
Yeah,
try and get the bounty on
they
a
feel they
marine.
need to catch the guy so that it doesn't like spin out of control. They're like, okay,
Hmm.
like one of our fucking, sorry, it's not rear admiral, it's vice admirals.
Vice Admiral, yes.
Have been killed. It's like that's a pretty big deal. We need to keep the
It's something
public's
about this
trust.
cross guild.
And we gotta do something about that cross guild. It's like, hey, I mean, like, have you seen Garp around when what's her
Hina
name?
comes in because the
I
goat's
guess
very
it's the
excited to see
cafeteria.
Hina.
Basically, is what it
Yeah.
seems to be. I might be just assuming that because the goat was eating the Cross Guild wanted poster.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not a cafeteria, but anyway, it's like, hey, have you seen Garp around? It's like, oh yeah, he's gone to Free Kobe. It's a what?
Yes.
Excuse us? What?
He's gone with all the other like the the
Yeah.
major captains. I think it's a
Pretty,
sword thing or something. I'm not really that interested.
Yeah. I think the one who moves things around is related to Suru, like niece or something.
Yeah.
So that's the additional thing. Yeah, it's to do with swords, and they're like shocked. And yeah, then the Mihawk and Crocodile are furious because of the boat that Boogie's pirates have prepared him.
Buggy's boys, but his guys have made him a obnoxiously clownish boat because he is Buggy the clown, the prince of clowns. You know, it's like the clown. We're gonna put your head as the mast of the fucking. Is everything cool? It's like yeah.
Is that too much? No. I mean, just like
Probably gonna get my ass-
you're a big player now, boss. Come on. We got a little follow.
Crocodile and Mihawk are like, fucking it, we want a few words. And by a few words, we mean we're going to kick your ass in a fucking back shed, basically.
Take you to the torture room and torture you. But yes, as he's listening to what their plans are, which is to get a country of their own, so essentially they can turtle down and protect themselves.
They want to build up enough power so they don't have to do anything, which was essentially their plan before. They did they both wanted the what was the old fucking thing? They canceled. The government canceled it. They had a position of power as a pirate word.
Yes.
No one will fuck with you anymore.
Pirate warlords or
warlords, and they loved it because
warlords,
they could just sit the fuck down and be like, I don't get fucked with. I just do whatever the fuck I want and where I'm at, and I don't go anywhere else, and the government doesn't fuck with me. That feels good. And they want that again. But Buggy's got ambition. That's the thing that they lost years ago.
Yes. He remembers Roger's words. He remembers an argument he had with Shanks 20 years ago.
He figured Shanks was going to take over the crew after Roger, and Shanks is like, "No, I'm not going for Pirate King. I'm not going for the One Piece." He's like, "Well, I am." So,
yes.
And time to announce that to the boys. I think it's just like that is the plan. That's still the plan.
Yes. So he insults the pair of them. They attack him, which gets him free of the hooks he's attached to. Grabs hold of the snail, and with Crocodile's foot on his head, starts telling the crew.
Inspires the men. Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna go after the
Don't you dare! I'm gonna say it.
I'm gonna say the title of the
Buggy
show for like when's the last time they've said One Piece in the show? I feel like it's probably been a while. In the show, not in the title or anything. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure Blackbeard and Law and Shanks
Uh,
and Killer might have
I
said
don't.
it.
I feel like they don't say it that much. Like, but yeah, just hearing a bunch of lads chanting it, I think was
Yes, because
Yeah.
they're all fired up. Because earlier the guy who came and delivered the bounty, they sent the money to his family, and it's like you have to join the pirate crew to protect you from the Marines. And they're like, don't worry, it's great. Buggy's great. We all love being a pirate under Buggy. And then at the end
they're
of
being
this section,
genuinely supportive of this guy. Is like, thanks for
Yes.
killing that admiral. We're going to set you up. Don't fucking worry about it. The government isn't going to come after you. You're going to be a pirate with us. It's going to be great.
yeah, Buggy has, whether he likes it or not, and he likes it now because this is forcing Crocodile and Mihawk's hand. They can't back out of this now. There's-
Everyone on their very large pirate crew is totally up for getting that one
Yeah,
piece.
I mean, we do want to crush their little dreams, you know, break their little hearts. You can't do this now.
And if they were to assume command, then they do the opposite thing that they're trying to do, which is pretend Buggy's in charge, so he'll get all of the blame.
Yes. And Buggy explains to Crocodile and Mihawk, look, we don't have to worry about fighting Blackbeard, Red Hair, and Straw Hat because a treasure hunt is a race.
Yeah.
We just have to
It's
get
not
there
about being
first.
the strongest. It's about getting the treasure.
Just
and
these
getting the
dudes are
fuck
going to
out.
fight each other, you know, and they're going to be at odds. Just let them go at it. Let them fight. They'll make off with the goods.
Like, again, Buggy's being a generally better pirate than a lot of pirates in the thing. He takes care of his fucking crew. He's making sure everyone gets a fucking fair share and a fair fucking cop and that kind of thing. It's just like, that's proper piracy. That's why people left the Navy to join a pirate crew.
Yeah, I think
But a better manager as well.
Yeah.
It's just...
I think because of Chiba's performance here, this came across even better than it did in the comic. From Buggy's point of view, I think like the
Yeah.
reactions for Mihawk and Crocodile didn't come across as well.
I
as
feel
in
like
the
them being
comic.
flat is okay in this context because it just heightens
Yes.
Buggy as well. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's a lot more of it. It's just like, oh, Buggy, he can come across is a bit more of a kind of like, I'm just a pirate. No, I just do what a pirate does. But it's just fun. You got into this game because you had a dream, man. You had like, you know, like a vision of something like something mysterious and beautiful over that horizon, and that's you get that like that old passion coming back into him, just talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the second half, Sabo's back. He didn't die. And he saved a load of people as well.
He must have caught a cold or something. He sounds different. Yeah.
I know what it means. It goes down the wrong way.
But I mean, like initially, it was going back to like problematic transsexual friggin' island, and I was just like, oh yeah, I forgot about this. And it's like, hey, Sabo, you're back, and I was like, oh, it's Eva, the other one who's replaced by a different voice actor for other fucking reasons. I was like, God damn it, we should have a reunion of everyone who's been replaced for problem reasons. Yeah.
What was their problem again?
I think was sexual online.
He was showing off. He was showing off his tattoos online. Was the issue?
Okay.
I thought it was like that the tattoos were like too low, but it just the fact that he had tattoos at all was it? Yeah.
No, he was showing as far that yes, the tattoos went all over his body and was showing you.
Okay.
They all went over his body.
Okay. That's being in the character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, the character is partly based on him, so
yeah. That's why Eva has like the tattoo going like all the way down.
Because he's part of Mayumi Tanaka's theater group.
They all have that same tattoo.
But yes, less controversial than
not an actual like not a thing he should have got fired for by any stretch. Yeah.
Yeah, so Sabo's back. We get to meet 4 new weirdos because there wasn't enough weirdos in this show.
Well, there has to be more people running the Revolutionary Army than just Sabo, Dragon.
That's
and
true,
Eva, right?
Yeah. These are the basically the second in commands of the other second in commands. I guess third in commands. And we've got a woman who may or may not be a cyborg because she has a cybernetic arm, but she has to make all the noises for it out of her own mouth.
Yeah.
She looked like she was charging a blazer, or was she just claiming she was charging a blazer? Is she just crazy? We don't know. It's a good bit, but yeah.
There's a cow man.
It's a very happy cow man. Great cartoon, cow-looking dude. There is,
Eggman.
a big fat Eggman with a mustache who's placing bets with an Eat Man. I'm going to call him.
Yes, I assume he has the Eatman power. Is that
Yeah.
he gets the powers of whatever he's eating because he eats a telescope and is able to see the Sabo's on the ship.
Yeah, but then I think about the other dude who was also like a kind of a dandy type of guy who was like an egg or became an egg. What's that? Who's that
Yeah,
cat?
he had,
He was like-
he was
he was
Tamago,
a chicken
Baron
and egg
Tamago.
man.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
That was his devil
He
fruit
become a chicken, die, be reborn as an egg, and just infinitely loop.
Yes.
Yeah.
So can we bring him back? No, not really. Okay, I can bring back some of it. Yes, I can. Okay, how about?
Yes, there's only so many weirdos the brain can hold.
Over 1,000, like thousands of weirdos at this stage.
It's weird, even just in One Piece. Many of them I do remember. It's just like I haven't seen this person like in literally like it was very many chapters ago. But this literally could be a better part of a decade. It was like, oh yeah, himself.
Dear.
And of course, all the previously met weirdos are also here.
Yeah. And much of all is the problematic Gay Island. It is the Revolutionary Army is set on Gay Island. Hello, refugees from fucking attacked country. Welcome to Gay Island. You'll be accepted here. And they also want to join the Revolutionary Army. It's like, it's gay positive. It's just unfortunate the guys in dresses with stubble, man. Fucking, it's still there.
I feel like they're the people from this island, and that is their culture, which is different to the people who are in the prison.
Yeah. They're trying to imitate it. They're trying to make their own version of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because none of these are asking Eva to turn them into actual women.
No, they're comfortable in their bodies. Yeah.
So yes, it feels like this is just this is who they are, and they're going to live like this. Similar with whatever's going on with Morley and what's her name? The flag lady. What he's wearing, and because their thing is that Morley talks like a girl and she talks like a man in their dialogue. Yeah, I suspect nothing will, and no other further details will. That is just their personality.
Yeah.
We're not going to go into any further because we've done that with the woman on Wano, whose name escapes me now. The giant swords woman.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's where we leave it. He's supposed to like, I'm going to tell you what exactly happened
at the Reverie.
But not next week because Bartolomeo needs to do another one of his book reports.
Yeah.
You got 2 deferrals on this, so now he has to present it.
Yes. Because that next bit is where everything really starts escalating. As if it's not already escalating, but there's just no breaks from here on out, really, is there?
Yeah, kinda.
Doesn't really stop, though, and yeah, we're going places that we talk. Is there still time to get to this place? There is still time to get to the place. That we're going there right now.
Yeah, and it's like even when we get the big flashback that's coming up, that just accelerates things further as well. So.
And it does the thing of it adds in a lot of detail. Like it's the kind of thing of a lot of it kind of goes up, plateaus for a little bit, and then goes up again. But like with the flashback, it's adding so much to everything you've already known. It's like, oh shit! So it still feels like it's ramping up, despite all this shit has already happened and is done. But it adds more context to everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Next up is Kinnikuman Perfect Origin Arc, Episode 6. The 4-dimensional space plan. We got titles now.
I paid attention. They say it at the end of the prior episode, and at no other fucking point. That's
the
thing I noticed. I'm keeping track of it now.
Of course.
And this is how we learn how the powers of a Dalmatian work.
Well, it's not just his powers is Dalmatian and we didn't trim his nails. Ooh. No, he looks more like the Spot from Marvel Comics.
Yes, it was the combination.
A little bit of Spot, yeah.
Of the resemblance to the Spot to a degree, and then I remembered, there's the character Black Hole in Howard the Duck. who also had a black hole
Yeah.
that he sucked people into. It was in his chest, not his head, but he did have a star on his head, which is like
Who
top
came
of black
first?
hole. So,
That's the other fucking thing. I assume Black Hole
Yeah.
came first.
Howard the Duck, yeah. Came
Oh, Howard the
first.
Duck one came first. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright,
well, I mean, sure, they'd be reading all that, and be big fans of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
I would guess yes. Particularly just how weird Howard the Duck villains tend to be, and how weird people in Kinnicky Man are. Yeah, this is a full-length episode fight between these two.
Yeah, I'm actually was a little bit like surprised of kind of where it kind of as well. But oh, this is taking a while. Jeez, that black hole is not going down. But there's obviously like there's like we send in the Akama children first because like we're going to make a valiant show. As this show individually how badass the perfect large numbers are. It's like okay, but no, it's fucking natural back and forth in this, and he fucking like he gets the win on him. It's like oh okay.
It's nice, like, and it's just like, oh, black hole is down. He goes down like 3 fucking times, and it's like just getting back up. It's like, wow.
Just realize you're dead, man. Just realize you're dead. But like, he keeps going on. He's right to do stuff because he fucking ekes out the win.
And it's funny as well because like black hole has like essentially like one thing, but like variations on that one thing. Whereas Dalmatian Man keeps pulling bullshit. I can form all my spots into my belly to shoot them as a spot cannonball, clogging your black hole. Or I can put them all on my face and make myself into a Doberman-headed white man. That's the thing that Dalmatians can do. I don't think they teach you that in history books, but I can sure do that.
Well, there's so there's like inbred. Like there's genetic malarkey is happening in their bodies.
Definitely with this guy, yeah.
Yeah, it's specifically because the Doberman has got a better sense of smell, I guess.
Also has a
than
longer snout, so his special,
Yes.
one of his signature moves of "I bite you with my teeth" is like that's not a move. You can't call
but he
that.
bites you and then suplexes you. It's
I
different.
guess that's true, yeah. And I mean, I
And we
allowed
get-
the Egyptian head guy to do it because he was a fucking floating head, and that made it cool. So it's
and
like, yeah, okay.
We get lines like "Your head is tough and tastes delicious."
My favorite meat is the flank.
It's just like he bite like you're having torn on my shoulder, on my arm. It's like the top of your very top of your bald head. It's like I'll nib it on there. Like that's the best part.
By the end of this, black hole is filled with more than the regular black hole. It's filled with many bloody holes, basically. Yeah.
Yes, but these form the dimensional fissures inside 4-dimensional space inside his face. It's as Rory's face would be.
So when he sucks him into the singularity that like a black hole is a singularity, but it's like the
A supernova is occurring inside his face.
yeah. That thing from I can't remember the fucking movie where they tried to do a realistic depiction of a singularity, that kind of thing. Pulling him into the singularity dimension where he's getting torn apart, and it's like I need to escape through one of the holes, like they did in that one Kinnicky Man episode. Which hole should I go for? Maybe that one. Oh, I know. I'll go for the one that he injured himself on trying to jump from the top rope, but the rope snapped. That's the one that I choose. My soul craves it. Black hole knew it was because he put that hole in himself. Because
It was shaped like a bone.
he spends so long explaining that it's bone shaped and you're a dog, so obviously you'd go for the cartoon bone shaped hole I put in my back.
You stupid dog! You stupid dog! I'm gonna power bomb you now.
And so he gets a pile driver, and he's lost. So he's about to commit suicide when Black Hole's like, "No, not commit suicide. I'll kill you instead."
Yeah. Hit your head off with my cape.
Yeah, because there's an issue like he's gonna impale himself on the buckle kind of thing, and it's just like, no, I'll summon my cape to make a scythe to kill you. Because that's what a hero would do, and it's like I'm hoping that's just how it starts next episode. That would be great.
No,
Real win for the Kuma Chojins, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to kind of reverse that in some way. Like this, not fun. Say no, you got the win. It was legit. It's like and then like the lads from the stands going fucking fucking Jesus, give it a point now on the board again. Well, I like that, because like I've seen this like the same kind of motif play out before. This is to show like how bad these new set of villains are and what their crazy powers are. How are we going to beat this? It's like, no, like, I mean, it's got crazy powers, but I've also like got 4-dimensional black hole wrestling, so that's not nothing.
And you've got weird dog powers, but not weird as me having a big hole in my face.
Yeah. And I like thank you for reminding me behind you there when you just get sucked inside, it gets like all like dissolvey and fun blobby inside there. Like
All
it goes really weird
spaghettified
the
and stuff.
animation.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I know some comments about how they redesigned the supernova inside his head so it looks more realistic than when it first appeared in the original Mickey Man manga.
I cannot think of the
Anyway.
fucking name of that movie. It's really fucking long. It's a Hans Zimmerman soundtrack. That's all I can remember.
Interstellar.
It's probably Interstellar. Is that the one that has a black hole in it? Anyway, it was like
It's got like
Never seen it.
traveling through a fucking dimensional
Yeah, something
space
like that,
wormhole anyway.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
It always is. It
Great
always
big
is.
long fight and crazy things like him putting getting the blob of dark matter out of his head by shoving his head over the ring post.
Like, oh, this again, I always go good on like a champ, but like, good on you, Black Hole. Good man.
Then we've got Mayonaka Punch, episode 7. Your faves are adorbs. Hit that subscribe. In which Masaki panics and starts editing out all the good stuff from their videos.
People create a parasocial relationship. You're just getting rid of just bidding all of it. That's what they come here for.
And you'd be glad to know, Brian, you taught me that lesson many moons ago where I like edited a freaking podcast. Like I was like, I gotta cut out all the silences and shit. It's just like, that's just conversation. Fucking there's lulls and heights and fucking it's grand. It's normal.
We have professors for this. We can listen to them if you want something that's completely just like, absolute just information and wisdom like end to end. No, we need like a bit of that warmth. Or it's just sterile and cold.
You're putting in all the things that you want to see, like you're just putting in the pure eating part of the giant Macron eating videos. But you're not putting in them having chat and like taking the piss out of each other and being people. I was going to say being humans, but vampires. So it's not quite that.
Because the crux of it is she's analyzing the data she's got on YouTube, and she's like saying these types of videos are popular, so we'll make these types of videos. And it doesn't get those numbers up. You've got to get those numbers up. It's not going to save the community center.
We gotta do 2 videos every day, obviously.
Yes, gotta do 2, gotta do 3, and then
we gotta do shorts, like because shorts get you the attention, but they don't get you the subscribers. But now that we have a bunch of people watching the shorts, we do 2 videos a day, and it's like fucking. They're all like, that's too many. 3 videos a day. That's still way more than. And she's looking at the data and she can't figure out. It's like, why does the one where they were picking out an outfit for her, like fucking, why does that one have so many fucking views? It's like, it's because the one where they're interacting and having conversations.
Yes. And she eventually learns this because the B plot is that Fu has subscribed to her first YouTube channel and she's hiding it from the other girls because she's being incredibly horny about it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, you were going to subscribe to a YouTube channel, you didn't like pick your own channel first? No?
No, but first is special, man.
I got a lot to teach you gals, obviously.
Yes. And so Masaki eventually asks her what she likes about these, and she's like, well, it's because you occasionally see the glimpses of what their real personalities are behind how they act.
The presentation, the showmanship.
Yes.
They're YouTubers, they do bits, as far as I can tell. They wear shower caps. That's their signature fucking thing. But they're also friends, and every now and again you can see, oh, that's a genuine fucking friendship thing. That's nice.
They wear basketball jerseys and then kind of speaking very street slang, but it's otherwise it seems very non-threatening and approachable. I don't understand why.
Yes. And so Masaki's like, she's finally has learned the lesson of the episode. And so we try and make the right sort of video that's going to be popular. She actually looks then at the actual videos rather than just the stats and sees the bits where most watched bits, just like YouTube's got. and
Yeah.
realizes, oh, it's all the bits which got left in and not the bits which were actually the actual focus of the episode. So they have this thing where they're going to have a chat in the bath, and of course she can't. While she's learned her lesson about how to make the video, she can't stop being a horrible person because she then makes it embarrass Fu in front of the other women.
Also, she has had this nice conversation in the bath because you know people are
Yes.
like, oh yeah, okay, get them fucking horny views. Yeah, okay.
Yes, ever worse, like, you know.
Hmm.
And I feel like it's spurred on as well because she's teaching Leve like a little bit of okay, here's how you fun use Fun Premiere Pro, here's how you fun do a bit basic editing timeline. And because like, oh, while you were like, you know, like sleeping because you crashed out from like, you know, so many all-nighters, I used my mighty vampire stamina to put together a rough cut here. What do you think? It's like, no, you've left there's too much fucking silence in there. What's this fucking around you doing? But you
The
can't see,
titles
no,
come
no,
in like
no.
a second too fucking late. Like, what's that about? You know, you got to put the subtitles in properly, and despite the fact it shows that same bit of footage like 3 times in the episode, it does, which saves on animation, sure, but it does get across the idea of like that's the good shit where they're ribbing on each other, and that's the bit that she's specifically editing out. It's showing the parts that she's
If
cutting.
it's too, if it's overproduced, people will think, they're just putting this on. You know, you need a little bit of that jank in there. You need a little bit of that kind of like, no, like, you know, you missed timing on the graphics by a little bit now, and it kind of hung there a little bit too long. But people like, sure, they're good girls. They're good girls. They mean well. Make me laugh. They make me smile.
Yeah, and so the next step is now they've got the first step mark of subscribers. They now need to do a collaboration, and wouldn't you know it, they've just been invited to a YouTube event where they'll be able to network and find some collaborators.
I assume it's like a local event because I feel like a YouTube collaboration thing. It was just like that'd be a lot of people potentially, right?
Well, I hope they're holding
them in the same place.
and I hope they're holding it in some party at night time. If it was in the daytime, it just could create all kinds of awkward situations.
Yes. And I hope they don't bump into her former partners.
Yeah. I saw like about Misaki as well as like, you know, she's kind of being again awful to them and like, you know, making them do fucking things like insult each other, like, you know, egging that on. But like, you know, she's like the hero of the hero of this thing. Is that she's got the character design where she's like, you know, she has like the pointy up eyes like that, which would usually be for like the kind of villain or other rival or something like that. The person who wouldn't normally if it wins or makes it before and say, no, she has that character design. She has a lot of those traits. We're rooting for her to win this time, not like the comparatively more wholesome like duo now that she left behind.
Yeah, I mean, like it's basically giving her the design and archetype bits of a very sly, sneaky kind of character because she's a manipulative asshole. That's what she do. That's why we're rooting for her to get eaten. As far as I can tell, like this just means you're gonna die quicker. But okay.
I don't think.
I know.
Not clear that they've made it because they pointed out in an early episode that Ishiko's already drunk her blood.
I mean, but she's it's now specifically the deal to not sexually suck her dry. So.
Well, what the amount of fun Red Bull she's going through on these sessions, like she's going to her heart's going to explode long before they can capitalize on that.
Yeah, or that blood's gonna be fucking premiere. That shit's gonna keep you going for a long time.
She bleeds purple. What? That's happened.
Then we've got Sengoku Yoko, episode 19, Above the Clouds, in which we finally get a brief chat with presumably the villains of the series, but we can't hear most of what they're saying because
he has to go. What?
What's that you
say?
You're saying your gods of death? You come for me?
Dear. But yeah, other than that, it's a good week for fights because we get 2. I want to call it 2 fights, but one is kind of like one guy doing all the fighting at everyone, and the other is 2 people fighting. You know, it's like, yeah, 2 fights. I think that counts.
Yeah, and also the girl got rescued while they were fighting. By now, anyway, yeah, Tsukiko was rescued by now while what's the dragon's name? Mudo.
Mudo.
And
I did like when Mudo
Senya
chops up
fighting.
like the powered up one of Nu, and but it, like he's piloting the head like it's like a little plane. It's like crash landing in his own like bigger head. He's like, whoa, that was a
Yes.
close one.
I bought a knife.
And Mudo's like, "Oh, you've rescued her now. Why are you still here?" It's like, that's because I haven't stopped playing with you. I want to carry on playing. And
The other thing is they did let her rescue herself a little because our egg guy shows up and he's like, fine to take my final form, and they're standing on a roof in the clouds. So she's just like, shove, and he's like, oh fuck, because it's really, as it was established several times in that shot, it's like it's hard to stand on a roof of tiles that's at a fucking angle. So it's just like doesn't matter that he's bigger and stronger yet. Now he's been pushed off of a cloud, so he's fucked.
yes, and yeah, the fact that he stayed to play with him causes a tear to form in Mudo's eye. And he doesn't quite know what it is and what it's doing there. But they do form a bond through fighting. Well, meanwhile, the Shogun is laying waste to every human being in front of him.
It's just, oh man,
A couple of guys come at him one at a time. He's just like, well, that sword's done. New sword, cutting down more. Like, come on, if we all go at him at once, he can't take us all down. He starts taking them all down. He starts jamming. They use swords. Sorry, they use the walls as shields so they can stab him with spears. Doesn't work. He just chops up the entire walls, and then he starts stabbing his sword into the walls and swinging walls around.
Yes. With
Come on,
swords
lads!
stuck in the
I'm
walls.
composing my death poem here. Like I'm ready to go out. What's stopping you?
I'm here. You got guns. Let's fucking go. Yeah, he's ready. Very much so ready, but he's too busy killing everyone to get killed is the problem.
Yeah.
This Matsunaga rolls up there. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? The house is on fire. Like, you know, he's just silhouetted against you. It's like, Matsunaga, good to see you. The fucking demonic looking dude. I'm just smiling. I'm just happy to see you.
And yeah, Matsunaga's like, who are those 500 figures? Because he sees them, and then Ashikaga sees them, and then the other guys see them, and then time stops.
Well, he has a brief conversation that you can only hear, like it's like hearing someone on the phone. You can't hear what the other side are saying because they're mumbling in their little hoods.
But we do from the responses, learn that they're in search of the thousandfold wonder, and that they've been pulled from their path here.
Mostly by the Shogun going, what? You're in search of the thousandfold wonder? You've been pulled from your path to here?
Yes. And then the one thing they do say is void people.
Yeah.
So that is presumably who they are. I don't know what's pulled them from the path. Is it the Shogun's time ability?
That would make sense, yeah.
Well, searching for 1,004 wonders, that means, do they mean Senya or do they mean Jinka?
Yeah, both are wonders that are 1,000-fold. So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, they Hanatora's warned off because she's like, "Hey, they're not going to claim his soul. That's my soul." But it's like, don't let when they see Hanatora, they start moving towards her before Ashikaga stops them.
Yeah, these are the ones who are also probably they're like ensnaring gods and driving them mad. So
they're really worried that she's going to get turned mad. Yeah, and that not even an aspect of her. This is the main body of her getting turned mad, which would be different.
Whereas the question is, are they deliberately turning them bad, or is that a side effect of them being pulled here in the first place?
Because whatever they turn mad goes searching for that thing that they're looking for, but it's mad, so it can't really do anything.
And it seems kind of deliberately fucking just whooshing in the target, or as a
yeah. Well, we got very little information, but we do have a name, and yes, clearly we knew they were after Senya to some degree, but as you say,
because he's attracting them around as he's wandering around. Yeah.
And then while this is happening, he gets snuck up on and stabbed.
I do like the Shogun thing. It was like, after you seen what I did to all your fucking men, that was pretty brave. I gotta give you that. He says, as a sword is coming through his back, through the front of his chest. And it's just like, wow, good on you. Fucking, I wouldn't have snuck up on me. I'm scary as fuck.
Shinsuke dives in. No. What shouldn't have been you? It shouldn't have been you.
I let it happen again, and Shogun's like, "No, man, like that was how I wanted it to go. That was all perfectly cool and everything." Also, you carried me into the sky, so this is pretty sweet. So I can technically fly as I fall to my death. Bye. Because he lets go of him.
Well,
Yeah.
I had to have that line in my death poem about my name being revered above the clouds. So I didn't want to look like a punk. So thanks for doing that. It's real sorry if you're going to die now. Bye.
The god intervenes and goes like, "Cool, I'm gonna take your soul now, like we promised. He can have the body that whatever's left that hits the ground." And Shogun's like, "Yep, cool. All right, see you in hell, I guess."
But yeah,
The
given the
way
time
she's talking about
elements,
him and watching him, she's like, "Oh my god!" Like she's turned on by this, but the way she's putting it, I think she's less a plant god and more a harvest god. She's like, "Oh, his soul is perfect now. Ooh, I'm gonna enjoy that."
yeah,
Not
It's so
quite that much, but
fulfilled
like,
right now. It's just, oh, it's piquant. I love it.
yeah,
She's
because we
very
know from
happy
the
how he's
mountain
turned out.
gods, no matter how nice these gods seem,
They will
they
eat
aren't
you.
that nice.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but the fact that this isn't the way historically he died, and the
History's written by
date
the winners,
given
man. So
isn't the date he died, and the fact that we got time shenanigans going on here, I don't really know what's going on, except I suspect time is involved.
and what is the god gonna do with his soul? But shenanigans, presumably. But yeah,
I'm supposed to hold it. Let's look at it.
it's cool. I collect them. And it's kind of contrasted nicely with the two kids kind of fighting, because like he's fighting as like, "I'm ready to die. Who's ready to kill me?" As he's killing lots of people, and it's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna eat you." And it's like, "Nuh-uh, we're friends."
No.
Um, which is a very contrasting fight. Both people are enjoying it. The Shogun's actually enjoying it, whereas our kid is like, my face is sore from smiling. I'm not used to this, but I'm trying.
And more importantly, the 1,000 guys inside me are also enjoying this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Now they're
fun.
not,
Hey, let's get his ass. Let's go.
Holy
and
shit,
now
we
they're not
fucking
scared of you,
yeah.
Mudo. And Mudo, we get Mudo's flashbacks now of like him being
Yes.
told that the path you're following is a lonely path to be the strongest, but you might someday find somebody as strong as
Who
you, and then you
who
won't be
accepts your
lonely.
strength
Yeah,
is, I think, yeah, I think
accepts
the
your
way.
strength. Yeah,
Mm.
that's the phrase. Yeah, which the guys inside. That's the message Senya relays. Is that yeah, they're impressed with your ambition because they're also ambitious, and
Yeah.
they recognize you as a kindred spirit now, not somebody who just wants to eat them.
And not just the dragon run away from the dragon. Because we get like, not only do we get his flashback kind of thing, but we get the internal monologues about it. It's like, he's landing all the hits, but and the guy's like, "I'm landing all the hits, but none of them are doing as much damage as the few hits he does land on me." They're both respecting each other as they fight.
Yes.
And the guys inside him are kind of like, "Whoa, we're landing hits on a dragon? Okay, fucking maybe
We
we
can
can do
do
this."
this.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
They're getting confident. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
believe in
a fun
yourself.
episode.
Mhm.
It's getting into gear now. Like, just even knowing that, like, at first pursuit, this was basically all kind of prologue to get into this chunk of it. And it's like he plays the long game, all right. Like, I mean, this one felt like it was kind of maybe a bit longer to get there than something like Planet of Wits, let's say. But that was something that was designed more for TV than the comic anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just like fun to build up now. We're seeing a lot of like a lot of things fun and blossoming out like there. Even moments like what Shinsuke gets is like fun. See, you see, even though someone's broken, it's in the willpower all along. You just gotta believe in yourself. This is my last message to you as I die. Like, yeah, like even in this like moment of fun, and it's these things that happen to you, man. It's like kind of the path of the warrior, but it's what you learn from them each time. That's what you can kind of carry forward. Maybe next one you'll save them.
And next on the list is, once I find
My
where I've
dear
put the
friend
list.
Nokotan.
Oh yes,
After
dear
Dear.
episode 8, which is unfortunately a 2-story episode, so they're stretched a little thinner.
Yeah.
First half
Mhm.
is Nokotan is a god and also a soup stock.
I thought that was just going to be like the opening bit, but then it like continued after the credits. I was like, "Oh, we're still here." Okay. Yeah.
It's
It's New
New Year
Year's.
celebrations.
Nokotan is a god.
Yes.
Everyone is gathered here to see the unveiling of the new deer god, as it was prophesized, and everyone is treating this as perfectly normal, except for obviously, the one person who doesn't treat any of this shit as normal.
Yes, we drink antler soup at New Year's, which is made by using the new deer god as stock inside the soup for 3 days. So essentially, we're just eating Nokita's dirty bathwater.
It's good for you.
Those folks would like that. They've done so before.
You get your fortunes, obviously. It's New Year's fortune time. So, oh, you got great antler. All right, good job.
And the final punchline is Nokita shows up, and as if wondering what's going on, she's got here late. Like, what do you mean you went to the god? And they say, here, I prepared this for you. And they drink it. It's delicious. What is it? It's antler soup. They go, oh, you were the god after all. And the second half is they're playing a board game because it's New Year's, and they're playing the game of Dear Life. I realise the problem. Some of the jokes I get here, but my main problem is I've never played the game of life, so I don't know.
I feel like you don't need to, because I feel like it goes off in wild deer-based directions.
I think the bit where they pick between two different paths is out the game.
There's obviously
like a high risk version and a low risk version.
In that one is like, you want to stay in the zoo or do you want to go out into the world? If you've got into the world, you can pick between the forest, the mountains, the sea, and it's just like, or the city. That was the other one, yeah.
Yes.
It's better if you were playing Million Road, because like Elusive Samurai had like a little 2-second little gag at that point. This is the way history progressed. It was a bit like Million Road. It's just like, oh yeah, I get that right away, but I'm not sure you can get like an entire sketch out of it.
Well, it did.
They tried anyway.
Yeah, I like this half. I like the bits when the path bit is where the path splitting bit is the funnier bit when she ends up in Alaska and she turns into a moose, which does not earn you any points in the game.
I'm surprised it doesn't earn you negative points. A moose is not a deer.
It's the most powerful sort of deer. It explains. In the game, she evolved like a Pokemon into a moose. Yeah. And meanwhile, Kashitan stayed at the zoo where she became an idol, and she was earning, what was it, 100 deer crackers every move she made. Something ridiculously unfair.
The numbers got pretty ridiculous towards the end of that game.
Yeah. But at the end, the very far, as was explained at the start, you don't want to race towards the end. You just try to earn the most deer crackers during the game. But she raced towards the end, and it was revealed that she wasn't a deer at all. She was a capybara, and so she lost all the crackers she'd earned. And so Nokita was the actual winner. And then, meanwhile, at which point they noticed that Mashalmi was choking to death on the mochi that she'd made.
It happens more often than you think.
They were still pretty slow to rescue her, even once they noticed. But a nudge with some moose antlers fixed the entire problem. Yeah, that's the episode. It's definitely better when there's 3 stories, not 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even look at it. I'm out on this one.
Okay, man.
No, this doesn't amuse me as much as it did initially.
Okay.
Then we got Dungeon People, episode 7, Monster Job Interview, in which they interview some monsters for jobs.
As monsters.
As monsters, yes. And we learn that Belle is allowing the monsters to think that they're being summoned into a demon world.
From their point of view, this is the demon world because there's magic isn't as common where they're from, the demon world. So the fact that magic is common here, and as Clay kind of points out, is like, but like you're a magic user, and that one goblin was a magic user, and sometimes parties have a mage. It's like, it's not that fucking common. It's like, yeah, but they only meet and talk to me, so they assume everyone's like the fucking dungeon master. It's like, what can you fucking do? It's like they wouldn't believe me even if I fucking told them. I was like, you could try because they seem quite reasonable and they can fill out a form no matter what fucking shape they are. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's another one of the many things suspicious about the way Belle behaves. Where like, is she being devious or is she being
stupid.
naive?
Yeah.
A little too nice.
Mm-mm. I like the fact that it's just like the interview process. Like it's basically a fucking done deal. With this, if they could fill out the form, then they're intelligent enough to work in the fucking dungeon. And Clay's like, wait, they're intelligent. Wait, so I've been killing. Oh wait, I haven't been killing them. I'm killing their avatars. There's no moral compunction here. It's fine. None of the monsters get hurt. You're fine.
Yeah. So they hire some sort of dragon monster, some sort of big fat cat who
Can't move, but
Catman.
it's pretty tough, as we find later on.
A giant with no openings. He's going to go on the 10th floor.
He's a Biclops, I
Ooh.
think, would be what you'd call that.
Wait, he has 2 eyes in the middle of his head?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it's kind of like, and he'll be getting a job. Like he's getting promoted immediately to the 10th floor, saying it's like it's not. No one has gotten down there yet, so you won't be doing much fucking work. But you know, it's we'll compensate you as such. And Clay's like, so that's the kind of fucking guy I gotta take out. You know, just looking at him going
Yes.
like.
And then the final one is supposed to be Mr. Marco Date, but instead a guy called Hell Dandy shows up. Because
Hell Dandy.
yes,
he has murdered Mr. Makadate and has taken his place in the interview. He's like, so this is the demon realm, huh?
Yes.
Well, take me to the gems. And
of course you might be thinking at this point, it's not been things which really scream out sort of 70s, 80s D&D. But what really screams out playing D&D than a Monty Python and the Holy Grail reference?
Yeah.
Wow.
He is a Black Knight, Niall. He is a Black Knight.
Yes.
He has shown up with his big sword and he is threatening to get the loot. And she's like, so you're here to take his place. You're not actually here to interview. You're just here to threaten us. And it's like, okay, so you understand I'm here to threaten you. So you'll bring me to the jewels. And Clay's just like, I got a boss. Let me have a go at this fucker. And because she wasn't thinking, and yeah, even the boss is kind of like, hey, she's getting better at using magic to throw her body around, like do shadow fucking teleportation and shit, like she's Akuma or something. But she's so good at it. She's like, oh, I thought he'd be tougher. I accidentally incapacitated him instead of murdering him. I've only chopped off one of his arm and cut all his fucking arteries at his other limbs.
Yeah. But then he's still arguing with
but
them.
a scratch.
He's like, he's still arguing with him, and one kind of comes closer and is just like, I suppose I better finish off the job. It's like, you came too close. Now I'm going to grab you. And it's like, she grabs him by the arm, throws him so hard, his other arm comes flying off. And it's just like, well, chop him up, chop that Black Knight. Is the Black Knight? It is but a scratch, you know the bit.
Yes, and gets his head cut off.
I mean, it's not a scratch. He's fucking dead. Like by the end of this thing.
Yes. And then they're like, "What are we going to do with the body?"
I'll turn him into a zombie.
zombie.
Bish bash bosh. And it's like, I did hear sometimes adventurers see friends of theirs in the dungeon as zombies, and she's like, waste not, want not. I suppose, you know. That's. Don't worry, he won't be as powerful.
You don't waste a name like Hell Dandy. You know, you want to keep that one on the go for as long as you can.
He'll probably be a skeleton pretty soon. They don't seem to take very good care of their zombies. And she's like, don't worry. He'll be stupid, so he won't be as high a level. So we can put him in up at the upper levels, just get his ass handed to him by adventurers a few times. It'll be grand. Poor Hell Dandy. But poor Mr. What's-His-Face, who we do hear in the end credits practicing for his interview. in the next episode preview.
Yeah. And then the final bit is she's pondering like, okay, I've not seen my dad as a zombie, so
that's a good sign.
And also, I think if he fought Belle would have obliterated him, and there wouldn't have been anything left to turn into a zombie. So
he's probably alive in the dungeon. Yeah.
Gameplay important.
His body. And then we see the ice, whatever they're called, the party. They fight the big pink cat.
Yeah, because your man's like trying to visualize what do you call that? Where you visualize the fight, fighting that one skeleton that kicked their ass. It's like that's the real leader, not the necromancer. That skeleton, random skeleton number 3. That's the one you got to watch out for. So we'll have to remember that next time. And when they go into dungeons, like it's a big fat cat. Oh no, it's kicking our ass. It can summon fire, so yeah, it can't move, but it can summon fire, so that is a bad thing.
The new hire has to gotta really show their stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I got past probation yet, so I really got to hit the ground running here, or not moving and shooting fire, as the case is.
I think he was immediately based off of the fact that they were saying they were on floor 7 again. I was like, oh, he got promoted to floor 7. That's pretty good for the big fat cat.
But you were to hire on the experience. It was a very impressive CV.
Yeah.
In this business a long time.
Yeah, there's also a bit because they're in this void when they're interviewing them, and it's like,
oh yeah. There's like just a table, like 2 benches, and some of the monsters don't want to sit in the benches, like the big fat cat who can't move. And it's like, oh, so you brought in the table here where we fought in episode 1. She's like, no. We just fought like 3 miles over that direction there. It's just a really big void.
Yes, that was the point at which I noticed the floor. I was like, oh, this is just a blank piece of squared paper.
Yeah, it's graph paper to draw whatever fucking dungeon you want in. That's how all the other floors started.
Potential reality.
Because I was thinking, if you did this as a modern D&D cartoon, this would have been an episode about session zeros where you're establishing the parameters of the game with the monsters. But it's not. It's like it's old school D&D. Don't think like that. It's very old fashioned in the way it's doing things, in a good way, in a funny way.
Yeah, so the thing doesn't exist until it gets drawn on the page. Yes, it's a good episode. As I say, once the Black Knight from Holy Grail showed up, I was like, there's the thing which feels terribly familiar.
Dear.
I see it's like in many a year.
That's it for this week. Next week, hopefully, Chibi Godzilla will be back. I don't know whether it got moved around in the TV schedules, and that's why there was 2 last week, or whether they just uploaded it early, like they did Chainsaw Man on Shonen Jump today. Where
I've heard it.
Well, you can't read it because it's not. There was an entry for it, but it wasn't there.
That old fucking chestnut. Okay.
Yes.
I thought you were saying they put it up early.
This new Trojan X, though, is pretty good. Good with Cha.
You could read My Hero Academia team-up missions.
Yes.
Just in time.
Well, the spin-offs are better than the main comics, so this is probably will be a main true to form.
Yeah, I'm not ready to that. There's 31 chapters there now. Righty-ho, that's it for this week. Ta-ra for now.
Bye.
Adios.